All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little different. Think of it like a pop quiz, a flashcard guide to the amazing world of animal nutrition. We're going to see how everything from a cow to a tiny amoeba gets its fuel. You ready? Let's jump in.
Seriously, have you ever stopped to think about what really happens to your food after that first bite? It's like this incredible biological machine just kicks into high gear. We're going to trace that entire journey, and not just in people, but across the animal kingdom. Let's see what you already know.
All right, first section. Let's kick things off with the absolute basics. This is all about how we group animals based on what's on their menu. Ready for round one? Okay, here we go. First question up. And it's a classic. We can pretty much sort every animal into one of three buckets based on its diet. So what are they? You know, the plant eaters, the meat eaters, and the ones that eat, well, everything. Go on, take a second to think. And time's up. Let's see how you did. You've got your herbivores, herby for plant, right? Think cows, deer. Then you've got your carnivores, carni meaning meat, so lions, tigers, and of course, the omnivores, like us and bears. We're the ones who look at the menu and say, yeah, I'll have a bit of both. So did you get all three? All right, just a quick little bonus fact for you. So while we're busy chewing and lions are tearing their food, some creatures are way more delicate. Think about bees and butterflies. They use this amazing built-in little straw to just siphon up nectar. How cool is that? Okay, let's bring it home. And I mean that literally. We're going to talk about our own bodies now. Get ready for our very first diagram quiz. We're going to show you a map of your digestive system. But here's the catch. All the labels are gone. Okay, check this out. This whole winding path your food takes is called the alimentary canal. But what are the main stops on this journey? From the very top to the very bottom, can you name the major organs? Just picture that sandwich you had for lunch. Where did it go? And hey, as you're trying to name those parts, remember that this whole thing, from start to finish, follows 5 key steps. You've got ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and finally, egestion. Every single organ you're trying to name has a job to do in one of these 5 stages. All right, let's see how you did on the diagram quiz. Let's follow the food. It all starts in the mouth with chewing. That's called mastication, by the way. Then it goes down the esophagus and into that J-shaped bag, the stomach. But the real star of the show, the small intestine. That thing is 7.5 meters long. That's where most of the final digestion and all the nutrient absorption happens. Finally, the large intestine steps in to absorb water and salts. And that's the whole trip. Okay, now let's switch gears and look at a totally different digestive setup. This one's designed to handle something we humans just can't digest: grass. Yep, we're talking about the grass eaters, the ruminants, like cows. You've definitely seen this, right? The cow just chilling in the field, peacefully chewing and chewing and chewing, but there's no grass going in. So what is going on there? What's the secret behind that endless chewing? And the answer is cud. It's actually a genius system. Ruminants swallow their grassy food super fast, almost without chewing, and store it. Then later, when they're relaxed, they bring that partially digested stuff back up, that's the cud, and give it a proper chew. The whole process is called rumination. It's why we call them ruminants. And that special process requires some special equipment, which brings us to our second diagram quiz. A cow's stomach isn't just one bag. It has 4 separate chambers to break down that tough grass. Can you name them? Go ahead, take a shot. Okay, let's see them. They are the rumen, the reticulum, the omasum, and the abomasum. But the real magic happens in that first one, the rumen. It's basically a giant fermentation tank packed with bacteria that can do what we can't: digest the tough cellulose in grass. Okay, so we've gone from the huge 4-chambered stomach of a cow, and now we're going to zoom way down, like all the way down to a tiny, single-celled organism. Let's figure out how an amoeba eats.
I mean, this really does sound like a riddle, right? How does a creature with no mouth, no stomach, not even teeth, how does it eat? How does it possibly get food?
It's all about a process called phagocytosis. It's pretty wild.
First, the amoeba literally reaches out with these false feet, they're called pseudopodia, to engulf its food. Then it traps that food inside a little bubble called the food vacuole, where enzymes break it down. The good stuff, the nutrients, just diffuses right into the cell. And when it's done, the waste gets kicked out when the cell membrane just ruptures. The whole system in one tiny cell.
All right, you've made it this far. We've covered herbivores, humans, ruminants, even amoebas. Now it's time for the final test. Welcome to the lightning round. 2 questions, back to back. You ready? Let's do this. First up, in the human digestive system, what's that J-shaped bag-like structure?
Come on, you know this one.
It's the stomach, of course, where all that acid and protein digestion happens. Nice one. Okay, question number 2. What is the fancy scientific term for the simple act of chewing your food? Mastication. That's the one. Grinding up food with your teeth. You got it. 2 for 2.
And just like that, you've totally aced our crash course on animal nutrition. Seriously, from chewing and cud all the way to cytoplasm, you've seen how life, in all its amazing forms, has figured out how to power itself.
So, next time you sit down for a meal, just take a second to think about that incredible, complex machine you're about to fuel. That whole journey we talked about, it's happening inside you right now. So the only real question left is, what are you going to choose to fuel it with today? Thanks for joining us.